All right, welcome back to Allenton Family K9 episode number 2. It's still a little bit windy out here in the Pacific Northwest, maybe some rain coming our way. But anyway, we're gonna keep training the dog, and we're gonna continue in our series where today we're gonna focus on teaching the dog down is down and stay. Now realize anytime you start teaching down and stay, the preferred method to use is going to be food reward, just like we did with front heeling. So for anybody who has not seen episode 1, we'll link that down in the comments below. Really we're using food to really drive the dog and to get the dog to do what we want. If for some reason food fails, again, we're really just going to be focusing on getting her used to and associating the word down with the actual action of her laying down. And so we train in using German commands. I'll get into more of the German commands that we'll use a little bit later on, but the only German word that new word that you guys will need to be introduced to today is gonna be Platz. P-L-A-T-Z, just like it sounds, Platz. And then for those folks that aren't using German, you'll just use down. And the reason why you're not gonna say lay down, we wanna keep it short and crisp. Crisp words with the dog. And you can see she already knows what to do because we've been working on front heeling a little bit, right? So she wants me to train her. We'll get that started in just a second. But down is the word when folks come out here and they wanna train their dog in English. That's generally what we use. We're gonna continue working on front heeling as we teach the down. So the big thing for the down is, and I'll explain this as I do it, is a little shimmy side step. I know that kind of sounds interesting, but I'll show you guys here in just a second. So just like we talked about last time, leash is in her left hand and food is in the right hand, and I'm gonna show her I have the food. See, so you can see she already knows. Sophie, here. Oh, just girls. Good girl, Sophie. And I'm gonna get her just kind of pumped up with just some positive reinforcement. Sophie, here. So we'll reward her several times on her front heeling. Good girl, Sophie. Sophie, here. Good girl. Again, and you can see my actions and mannerisms really play into how the dog is gonna behave. Sophie, here, Sophie, here. See my right hand's driving her, and there's all this slack in the leash. Okay, now we're gonna work the down. So I'm gonna take a slight side step left, so you can kind of see I opened up my hips. And what I wanna do is I wanna use my hand in the food. Sophie, Platz. So she's got to follow it all the way down. Oh, she doesn't want to do that. We'll try again. Sophie, Platz. Platz, Sophie. Platz. 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 So she's trying to figure, well, she apparently, she wants it, but she can't figure out how to do it. Oh, good girl, good Platz. Yeah, good girl. Good Platz. Yeah, bull. So now I'm going to take a step back. Good Platz. Good Platz. So now I'm trying to get her to associate the word with what she just did, right? Just like with front heeling and just like programming her name. Good, Platz. Platz is her laying down in the down position, right? So we're gonna do it again, and we're gonna keep doing this. And this is how programming happens, right? I'm using hot dogs again. And so I didn't really talk about this in the first video. I might in the next video, really how to hold your leash, but I can move up and down the leash by simply, putting the leash down the crease of my hand so you can drape it over, pull back. And the reason why I want to do that is because I can also drop and move out to 6 feet if I need to. I'll talk more about that a little bit later, but here we go. I'm going to bring her back to front heeling. Show her the hot dogs. Sophie, here. Oh, that's girls. So again, my mannerisms are going to excite the dog, right? I want to get her excited. So, let's go. Good girl. Okay, here we go. I'm going to half step around the dog. We're going to do it again. Platz. So I keep my hand down here, and as soon as she goes all the way down, Sophie, Platz. Good girl. Good Platz. Yeah, bull. Good Platz, yeah. Good Platz, Sophie. Good Platz. And we'll just keep doing that until she eventually just, oh, okay, I know Platz means down is down and stay. And again, this is just the beginning, right? So it takes a lot of work to continue to program the dog, which is why I was telling you guys in the first episode and even in the intro, you want to train a puppy, and she's going to run out of gas here in just a minute, believe it or not. They get real tired really quickly, right? So here we go again. We're going to do it one more time probably, and then she's going to need a break. So here, oh, that's girl, come on. And I'm going to reward her because I want her to keep showing interest. Here we go, half step, open up the hips, hand goes down. Let's. Oh, she doesn't want to do it. That's okay. I'll half step around her hip. Let's. 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 And I'm not going to open up my hand until she does. Oh, good girl. Yeah, good Platz. Good girl. Good Platz. Good girl. Good Platz. Good Platz, Sophie. Here we go again, one more time. Sophie, here. Here, Sophie. Here we go. I'm going to reward her for the here and now. Open up the hips. Platz. Sophie, Platz. Let's. Good girl. Good girl. And now I want to step back. Good Platz. And then because she's just learning, I'm going to quickly reward her. Good Platz. And I'm out of hot dogs, and that's okay because guess what? I can still praise her. Good Platz. Yeah, good girl. And that's okay. Good girl. She did so good. So just remember, the best form of training, especially when teaching the down, I'm sorry, I wrapped it all around you, didn't I? I apologize. Is to get her to do the action on her own without a correction. So sometimes handlers make errors, and that happens all the time in training, right? So when do I have to reward the dog at the right time. I have to correct the dog at the right time. And this is why I'm in business, is because most of the time dog owners don't know when to reward or when to correct at the right time. Also, last thing I want to say about this lesson for episode number 2 is, again, we want the dog to do the action on her own to get the reward, right? So if I open up my hips, the dog doesn't go down when I want her to, and that's really why I'm using my right hand, is that cue. If I start putting pressure on the dog will just stop working for you. And that happens to a lot of new handlers as well, is they put too much pressure on the dog too early when pressure's not required. And so in this case, you saw the dog, it took her a few minutes. You guys actually saw all the chemicals in her brain mixing and going, oh, I guess I gotta go down to actually get the reward. So that's how you program or start programming. Down is down and stay, plots. And again, as we get more proficient with this and we do this more, I actually don't want to, you saw me having to stay down on the first reward. That is actually not desired. I want to keep my body up. I want to be able to go down, or excuse me, plots. And then I want to be able to stand up and then reward her. Otherwise, you're going to get stuck like this and the dog is going to expect you to stay in a squat to get a reward, right? So, okay guys, and then just a quick question that we get all the time, how often should I be training or how often should I be practicing? So I'm putting things all together, right? Front heeling, I'm putting the down is down and stay. All of that we're putting together. You saw how I did that. You should be practicing at least twice a day, working with your dog for 10 to 15 minutes. At this age, like I said, 10 minutes may be all you get, and then the dog is just done. I mean, she's done. And then the one thing I want to say on that really quickly, because I tell all my clients when they come out here, is they always ask, even people who have adult dogs, hey, I don't have a field like you have, Jake. How do I work my dog? And the answer is not throwing the ball 100 yards and letting the dog run. That's not the answer, because that's like somebody saying, hey, Jake, can you get on the treadmill and run a mile and a half? Sure, no problem. I'll run a mile and a half, right? But if you also said, Jake, you're going to run a mile and a half, and oh, by the way, you're going to take a calculus test, by the time I got off the treadmill, I wouldn't know whether I was coming or going because I was taxed mentally and physically, and that's what just happened to the dog. So believe it or not, after this quick 7 minutes of training, the dog is going to go inside and take a nap, guaranteed, because of the physical and mental component of dog training. So 2 times a day, 10 to 15 minutes. For all those people out there who have working dogs and you're like, I don't know how to satisfy my dog's working crave and he's always got energy or she always has energy, train your dog. We'll see you next time. Episode 3, we'll show you how to start the process of healing, and then of course continued front healing and the down is down and stay. We'll see you next time.